Well, we just spoke with New York Congresswoman and Republican Conference Chairwoman Elise Stefanik, who joins us now, who made it her mission to help elect more strong Republican women to Congress with the creation of Elevate PAC, or EPAC as they call it. It was so successful in 2018, recruiting hundreds of female candidates, that they're hoping to do it again with some women that you're about to meet. So let's bring in those candidates. First, we have for Nevada's 3rd District, April Becker. We also have candidate for Texas's 15th District, Monica de la Cruz. Also with us is candidate for Illinois' 17th District, Esther Joy King. And finally, candidate for Virginia's 10th District, Janine Lawson. Ladies, welcome to the show. Glad to have you.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
April, I'm going to start with you. You're running against another woman, an incumbent, Democrat Susie Lee, who voted in line with President Biden 100% of the time there. Susie won last time, so what's going to be the difference about this time for you?
You know, I think that Nevadans are fed up. They are watching what's going on with this administration, and with gas prices going up, food prices, things that really hit them in the pocket, they're paying attention. And, you know, Susie Lee, she votes 99% of the time with Pelosi. And, you know, this is a true swing district. She's just not representing the constituents that voted for her.
Monica, Texas picked up 2 new congressional seats, and you're actually running in one of those new seats, Texas 15. You ran last time, actually, came up just a little bit short, but that was in a much more competitive district. So with redistricting here, you're actually now in a more Republican-friendly district. So is your challenge now going to be winning the primary?
Look, we ran a great race in 2020, and we never stopped running. And I think because we represent the true values of the people in South Texas, we're not only going to win the Republican primary, but we're going to win the general election as well.
Yeah, I know many people are hoping for that. Esther Joy, you're in the opposite situation there. You would be up against another woman in Illinois' 17th District that favors heavily Democrats. So what sets you apart? How are you going to get an edge over a predominant Democrat seat?
Well, there have been so many developments in my race. One huge development is my former opponent, Sherry Bustos. She is retiring, so she's not even going to try and fight the fight in 2022. And we just went through redistricting, and the Illinois Springfield Democrats, they're pretty corrupt, and they tried to steal this this seat by redistricting and gerrymandering it. However, there is a movement happening in Western Illinois. Even Republicans and Democrats, we aren't supportive of the far left, liberal, defund the police agenda. And even the Democrats are voting Republican now because they know they deserve a voice. They know they matter. And it has created a huge movement. And so I am the front runner in an open seat with a straight pathway in the Republican primary, while the Democrats are going to have a likely seven-way fight on their side. So we are full speed ahead towards the general election. And Cook Political Report just recently rated the Illinois 17th a toss-up. So we can absolutely win this race.
All right. Janine, you're running in Virginia's 10th District, which is Northern Virginia. For those who don't know, one of the bluest parts of the state. Education has become a huge hot topic in the state, specifically your district. So how big of a part of your campaign will that be?
Great question. It's going to be a huge part of our campaign. It's going to be a winning key component. We saw with Glenn Youngkin's victory earlier this month that even Northern Virginia liberals are fed up with the woke education that the left is pushing. They're fed up with soft on crime nonsense. They're fed up with the money grab of higher taxes. And I think that education, in particular with Loudoun County being the center of the 10th District, is going to be a winning issue for me.
In the little time that I have left here, I want to go around the horn and talk to you about specifically why you chose to run, maybe one issue that you feel like sets you apart. We were talking to Congresswoman Stefanik about how you are the cream of the crop against all the women who put their name in the hat. So, April, what do you feel like is really what's going to give you the ultimate edge?
You know, I've always said when you want something done right, you got to go do it yourself. I'm a strong woman. I went back to law school at 36 years old with 3 young children. And I did that because I wasn't happy with the direction that my attorneys were taking a case that was ongoing. I graduated from law school, took that case, I won it, 10 months out of law school. You know, I'm doing the same thing. You want something done, you want it done right, you do it yourself. That's why I'm running for Congress.
All right, Monica.
Yes, look, we are excited about 2020, and we know that we are going to stand with our law enforcement officers and our Border Patrol agents. Look, I am the only candidate that has been endorsed by the National Border Patrol Council twice. I'm the border girl, and I'm going to stand up for law and order and really reflect what the constituents of Texas 15 are looking for.
All right, Esther Joy, got to go quick because I got a minute left here for you and Janine.
Well, I'm the daughter of Christian missionary parents. So my parents taught me service, being part of something bigger than myself. That's what 2022 is all about, being part of something bigger, helping save our country. I'd love to have anyone's help. If they want to be a part of my campaign, it's estherforcongress.com.
All right, Janine, 30 seconds.
Real quick, they're out of touch. The left is completely out of touch. Jennifer Wexton, the incumbent, has failed Virginia families. She's not paying attention to the priorities of Virginia families. Instead, she's in lockstep with Biden and Pelosi, and we're going to flip the seat and win it, bring common sense back to the 10th district.
All right, ladies, it's great to have you. Good luck on the campaign trail. Thanks for being here with us tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to send it over to Sean, who's standing by with 4 more Elevate PAC candidates. Sean.
All right, thanks, Lindsay. We are joined back again by Congresswoman Elise Stefanik and 4 more of the candidates that her PAC is supporting. Let's welcome in candidate for Kansas's 3rd District, Amanda Atkins, candidate for Virginia's 2nd District, Jen Keegans, candidate for New Hampshire's 1st District, Caroline Levitt, and candidate for Pennsylvania's 7th District, Lisa Scheller. Amanda, I want to start with you. You ran against Democrat Congresswoman Sharice Davids in 2020. Why are you taking her on again, and what's going to be different this time than last?
Well, it was a very easy decision for me to make. After Joe Biden won, it was clear to me the environment was going to change very, very quickly, that the Democrats would, in fact, overreach significantly. And that's exactly what's happened. I'm running against Sharice Davids. And even here, just in the last couple of weeks, she voted for what I would call the Build Back Better mess. And in my district, which is a very suburban district, the people are largely driven by economic issues. And so they're looking at what's transpiring, federal spending on the rise, direct impact on inflation. And when there's a pinch at the gas pump and people are paying more at the grocery store, it is a real problem for our voters.
All right. Jen, you were a Navy pilot. You're taking on Democrat incumbent Elaine Luria down in Virginia's 2nd Congressional District, which is the Norfolk, very heavy Navy presence down there. The incumbent Congresswoman is a Naval Academy graduate and veteran as well, which is going to make for a very interesting race. Of all of the people in the primary, the Republican side, though, you are the only woman taking her on. So how important do you think it is that she face off against a woman, and how important is redistricting going to be in Virginia in terms of the shape of your district ultimately?
Yeah, thank you. Those are great questions. We need someone who can go head-to-head with Elaine Luria. So being a female Navy veteran is certainly helpful, but I also think I'm the best candidate. I won a state Senate race in 2019. That was a super tough year for Republicans to win. It was when the blue wave came into Virginia and we saw the Senate and the House on the state level flip. And we won that year, and that was a great victory. The heart of my Senate district sits in the Congressional District 2. Definitely a seat we can get back. It's going to be one of the top 5 races in the country. It'll probably be the only race in the country where there's 2 female veterans going head-to-head, so it's going to be one to watch. And you mentioned redistricting. Yes, we are still in works with redistricting. There's some Democratic strongholds around CD2, so we don't feel like the lines will change too much. But regardless of where the lines fall, we're excited to work hard and get out there and flip this seat.
Yeah, Virginia's 2nd down where you are, then up north in the 10th, and obviously the 7th, the Abigail Spanbauer seat. There's 3 big targets that Virginia, like me and Lindsay, both need to want to see take over. So we're obviously rooting for that district to flip. Caroline, I want to move up north to you in New Hampshire. You're running in a very crowded primary against 5 other Republican candidates against incumbent Chris Pappas right now. If you'd won, you'd be 25 years old when taking office. One of the candidates you're running against in the Republican primary, Matt Mowers, he's been on the show before. He was the nominee last time, was in the Trump State Department. Another candidate is the wife of former Senator Scott Brown. So at 25 years old, that's when you would be elected. What sets you apart from these other candidates?
Well, first and foremost, Sean, and thanks for having us, is my experience. I've worked at the highest levels of the federal government, both in the executive branch for President Trump directly in the White House under the leadership of Kayleigh McEnany, and then also in the legislative branch here on Capitol Hill for Congresswoman Elise Stefanik, and I'm very excited and honored to have her endorsement today. Secondly, I would add, I am a native of New Hampshire, and some of my opponents in the primary cannot say that. My family has had a small business in the 1st District for decades, and so those organic, homegrown roots are something you simply cannot make up. I will tell you, voters are very excited to see me run. And then thirdly and lastly, I will add this. I am a young woman, and I think that's a huge strength. We have to target and message effectively to women, and we also have to start messaging to young people. We as Republicans are losing big time with my generation of voters. We are doing that on my campaign by talking about issues that impact them every single day and by investing digitally to meet them where they are. And we've seen that result. We have events in the district all the time, and overwhelmingly we see young people turn out. So those are the reasons I believe I will win this primary and defeat Chris Pappas next November.
All right. Lisa, I want to get to you real quick, but Congresswoman Stefanik, I got to ask you real quick 2 things. One, is this the first candidate that has ever worked for you that is running for Congress? And 2, you were the youngest woman when you first ran and got elected. Did that have something to do with why you're supporting Caroline?
Well, Caroline has earned this endorsement. She is the first candidate that has worked for me that is running for office. But I think back to when I ran in 2014, Sean. I had worked for Paul Ryan previously when he was the vice presidential nominee, and he was very encouraging. He was the first member of Congress to say, hey, you should do it. I believe in you. And I believe in paying it forward. Caroline has earned this endorsement. She met the metrics, and she has what it takes, not just to win the primary, but to flip the seat. And she's going to be a great member of Congress.
All right. Lisa, I'm going back down the map to Pennsylvania. You're running against Democrat Susan Wild. Why is being the only Republican in the race on the Republican side important to you? And walk me through what redistricting in Pennsylvania has done to the district that you're running in.
So Susan Wild, she knows that I am the only Republican who can actually beat her and win this race. It is really important to make sure that we have a candidate who can defeat Susan Wild to help take back the House for Republicans. Redistricting, as I have just heard right now, the maps are going to be out within 2 weeks. Now, my district right now, the race is rated toss-up and even. And today, that's not even including the disastrous policies that my opponent, Susan Wild, has been the banner carrier for Joe Biden on this entire past 10 months. So I actually believe if the election were held today, I would definitely prevail. The maps are coming out, and the maps in Pennsylvania's 7th District can only get better for Republicans, whether we expand to the north, the west, or the south. It gets marginally or to significantly better by a few points better for Republicans. So I am really, really excited.
Okay. Amanda, Jen, Caroline, and Lisa, thank you for joining us. Congresswoman Stefanik, thank you for sharing with this with us exclusively. Look forward to seeing where you go next. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.